Hello, and welcome to Along for the Ride Real Estate Investing Jumpstart. I'm glad you joined us today to begin your new career path in real estate investing. So let's get started. Okay, the very first question that you want to ask yourself is what type of investor do you want to be? Okay, a lot of people get into real estate investing and they want to wear everybody's hat. Well, you can't do everything at once. You can't be at every place at once. So you got to think about what type of investor you want to be, whether it's going to be a wholesaler who works with other investors, and we'll talk a little bit more about that, whether you're going to be buying whole, where you acquire properties to be for rental and you do rental properties for long-term rental income, whether you're going to be rent to own, lease to purchase, seller financing, where you renovate a property and you have these options to rent them out or lease them out, or you're going to be a rehabber where you rehab and renovate the property and resell it, or fix and flip properties. These are type of things you want to think about. What type of investor you want to be. You only can be one, and as you grow your business and you get that one position down, then you can evolve to the next type of investor you can add underneath your umbrella for your business. But you have to start out in one direction first. I want to make sure I said it again. You have to start out in one direction first. So this is the time for you to kind of think about what type of investor you want to be. Okay. Now, when you get into real estate, the very first thing that a lot of investors do, which is a big no-no, is that they go out and they buy all these properties in their personal name. You should not be buying properties in your personal name. That's not going to do you no benefit as an investor. You want to acquire properties in a business name. This is where you want to set up your business entity for you to acquire your investment properties. So in saying that, the first thing you would need to do is establish your business name. Your business name needs to be professional as well as unique. But you want to make sure that your business name is not owned by no one else. So you want to do your research in Google to make sure your business name is not owned by no one else. And then once you do that, then you want to go and buy a domain name for your business. This will actually protect your business. This will protect your business so that no one else can market or use your business name outside of you just getting your articles, outside of your EIN number. It doesn't really protect you in regards to marketing and promoting your business. So you definitely want to make sure you get a domain name. Okay. And once you do that, then you're going to go and file your articles for your business in the state that you live in. You should be able to establish this normally within a 1 day period of time. If you're not able to physically go down to the business office for your area in your state, you can do it online. And normally that takes about 7 to 10 days to get your business registered when you process it online. I recommend you do it in person because you can be able to have 4 of the things that you need right away accomplished within a 1 week period of time. Okay. The other next important item you would need is your operating agreement. Okay, you need to make sure you have an operating agreement in place that kind of describes the functions and roles of your members that you might add to your LLC. This will be a critical document that you need as you grow your business. And we'll talk further more about that. And you'll be able to create one of these for your business. Okay. Now we're going to go over the main 20 most important steps, but there are main 4 items that you would need to have done as part of your homework assignment. Okay, so the very first thing you need to do will get your articles established in the state you live in, acquire your EIN number from IRS, and establish your bank account. So the day that you get your articles and your EIN number, you should then right away go to your nearest bank and open up your business bank account. This should be done all in the same window period of time. And the reason why I'm saying it is because corporate America does not recognize you as a business just because you have an EIN number in your articles. The day you open up that business account is the day officially they say that you are an actual business. So you need to make sure that these three things are done within the same time window period of time. And of course, there are other items that you would need to do as you go along building your business, such as getting your business license. You might be doing business as another alternative name that needs to make sure everything is registered and links with your main LLC name. You have to have a separate business phone number for your business. You need to make sure your business is actually registered in the 401 directory. You need to make sure that you have a business credit score for your business with Experian, Dun& Bradstreet, Equifax. You need to make sure you build a credit history for your business. You have a physical address for your business, not a primary residence. One more time, a physical address for your business, not a primary residence. Okay? You need to have a good bank rating, which means no insufficient funds hits on your actual business bank account. You need to make sure your taxes are filed separately from your personal. You need to make sure that you have no judgments or liens against your public records. You need to have at least some credit cards. You need to have vendors. You have different types of loans and bank securities that you need to have in place for your business. All these things you would do as you grow your business, okay? But the main four things that you need to do as part of your homework in this session here would be filing your articles, getting your EIN number, establishing your business bank account, and setting up your operating agreement. These four things that you would need to continue to move forward in your next session. But I will also require you to work on the 20 list to see for the next 30 to 60 days to see out how many of these things you'll actually get accomplished as you move along building your business. And you will need to email your progress to me as part of your homework assignment, and this will be in your homework package as well. Okay, and last but not least, you need to also think about doing a business plan for the long term of your real estate investment business. Okay? Procrastination. Okay, now I had told you a lot of stuff that you got to do, and you're probably like, oh my God, I got so much stuff to do. But don't procrastinate. You know, as soon as you finish the class, start on your homework assignment, get the four things done right away so that way you can move along to the next session. So don't procrastinate. Okay. Here is a sample of establishing your operating agreement. Again, this operating agreement will be inside of your homework package. Here's a sample of one here on the system, but you do have one that's in your homework package for you to review as well as use to set up for your LLC. And I will be expecting you to have this done and submit it back to me in your homework package assignment. Okay. Now, I want to make sure you stay focused. You know, I know people get nervous as they go along, but again, some of the things I had mentioned to you with your homework assignment can be completed within a 1 week period of time. You do have time to get it done within 7-10 days, but I want you to stay focused and stay on point with what you're trying to accomplish for your business. Okay. Now we're going to move along in regards to finding properties. Okay. So in saying that, now that you have everything done, all your business entity is up and running, now you need to get the news out about you as an investor. You need to make sure you share this with everybody that you know, your friends, your family, your business associate. You can email it, text it, send out an instant message. You want to get the word out so that people know that you're an investor, what type of investor you are, what type of property that you might can acquire or help them with so they can call you as referral. And this will bring you a lot of referrals back to you. People will know that you are the person that they can call in regards to a property that one of their friends or family members might have that might want to sell, and they might need your assistance in finding, acquiring this property from them. But you also have to do some research. Sometimes you're going to have to do additional research to build up your pipeline where you can be able to market to probate, pre-foreclosure, short sales, for sell-by owner properties, landlords. I mean, it's so many different things that you can do to acquire a list of prospect homeowners and sellers that you can send your marketing pieces to and letters to. So this is where you'll start to get more into your research, and we'll talk more about that in the next session. Building your relationships with realtors and networking with others at meetups, real estate clubs, where you can share information with them so they can contact you about properties, you can contact them about properties. That's another way to build long-term relationship, as well as a good referral base for you to have buyers in case you might acquire properties that you might want to sell to other investors. Okay, and then you have your direct marketing, where you be able to mail out all the marketing pieces to the list that you have built up based off the research information that you have gathered. So you can get that a lot of information from public records as well, in different other areas where you can actually acquire and purchase leads if you need to purchase leads. But if you do your research, you can get a lot of your leads for free. It's a matter of how you go out and research and gather the information. And I will show you more techniques about that as well in the next session. Now here's a sample of marketing pieces that I use myself, that a lot of investors use. One is your bandit sign. That's the yellow and black sign. You're probably familiar with that sign. You see this out a lot. One of the things about bandit sign I want to make sure I point out, if you decide you want to use bandit signs to, attract buyers or attract sellers, you want to make sure that you put them out during a certain period. You put them out during a certain period of time, and then you pick them up at a certain period of time. Some states require you to have them out on like a Friday, and you got to pick them out on a Sunday, and there's a holiday, you can pick it up on that Monday. But if not, then sometimes they fine you for littering or trash if you leave it there over a long period of time. So you need to check with whatever state you live in what the requirements is for putting out your bandit signs for you to market your business. Okay, and a good way, affordable way to get pieces out to a lot of people is postcards. That's another good way. I like that myself in regards to being able to market to people based off the information that you gather in regards to the list that you build to mail out. That's a good way, a quick way to get your information out about you trying to acquire some properties. So that's something that you might want to look at as well. You have your marketing letters. Letters that you can send it out as a typed letter, or you can send it out as a handwriting letter. I use this letter a lot, especially within your own neighborhood, areas that you might have been raised up in, people know you, people that where you might live at now for a long period of time. You can send this out to your neighborhood and let people know that you're looking for properties, whether you're looking for rental or you're looking to buy properties, to fix them up, to make it look nice in your area. This is a good way to get it out to them in your neighborhood. And one thing I do want to say is when you start marketing, do not market way out to what you can handle. And what I mean by that, market within a 1 mile or 2 mile radius from where you live. So that way you can maintain it, you can get around it. And same thing when you're acquiring properties. You don't want to acquire properties in another state and you're not able to manage or maintain that. So when you're just starting out, you want to stay close in within a mile or two that you can be able to handle. And when you're marketing out your pieces and how you can follow up and everything. Okay? Now we're going to talk about contracts. This is a very good one because there are two different types of contracts, and you need to understand that. Just like, there's two different types of realtors. And what I mean by that is when you start to write your contracts, you have a traditional contract, which is for like a standard transaction that you will sell from one buyer to a seller. But when you have an investor contract, there's a little bit different. Some of the wording is a little bit different, and you want to make sure you have a realtor who is experienced in working with investors, because there's a big difference from a standard homeowner or a standard seller and you as an investor that's writing a contract offer to a client on your behalf. So you need to make sure when you start to write your contracts, if you're writing a contract with a realtor, they need to make sure they understand the type of contract you need to help you to acquire the property you want to actually acquire and understand the investor's market. Okay. Now you do have a private contract that you can use yourself as an individual, where you can write your own offer to the homeowner or seller. to acquire their property that you can present to them. So I recommend, if you don't have an actual contract, I will give you a sample of a contract. You might want to have a real estate attorney or title attorney to write up a good contract template that you can use in your state, that's required by your laws, that you can use to be able to present to sellers and homeowners in regards to acquiring their property. Okay, now they do require you to have financing. So there's a couple of ways to get financing. So you have retail lenders. Retail lenders are your regular banks, such as, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, TD Bank, SunTrust. Those are your retail lenders that can provide you credit line letters, that can provide you letters for renovation loans or conventional loans. And then you have a hard money lender, which is a private lender, a private company that provides you financing for a short period of time. So a lot of rehabbers will use this particular type of lender, which they'll give them like 12 months to acquire a property, renovate a property, and resell a property. So that's most likely where you see a hard money lender at. And then you have a private lender, which is a private person that you might personally know, who might be interested in teaming with you or partner with you, and they'll have funds available. Maybe they have cash, maybe they have a retirement account or some type of stock exchange or some type of liquid asset they can use to be able to invest in properties with you. Okay, and then you have wholesaling, which, again, that's working with investors. For one investor to another investor, that contract is written a little bit different. And we'll go over that session. That will just be strictly about wholesaling, but that's another way of acquiring properties as well. Okay. Now, here is an actual sample of a real estate contract. I am a licensed realtor myself, but this one is used in the state of Maryland. Of course, each realtor has a realtor contract for the states that they live in, that they use to purchase properties. But this is a sample of one. It has the company's name in there, has the property address, and you have the deposit. That's one thing I want to make sure that everybody understand. When you start to write contracts, you do have to have a minimum of $1,000 deposit in your business account ready to go. You cannot be waiting to the day of, or let me get it together. No, when you open up that bank account, you should have $1,000 already ready to go for you to be able to purchase the property. Okay, so that must be ready to go in your bank account and written out to whatever title company that you had is going to be doing your closing, and you have a settlement date. Okay, now here's a sample of a private sale agreement for real estate. Again, you need to check what state you live in. I will give you a sample of one, and you can then, actually talk with your attorney to help you put one together, like a little template one that you can use for whatever state that you're in, so you comply with the laws that you are in when you start to write offers to homeowners and sellers. Okay. Now we're talking about lender letters. Now this is another part of proof of funds. Okay, so now you have your contract together, and we have, we're getting the deposit together. Now you have to have your lender letter from whatever lender that you're going to use, whether it's a retail bank, they'll give you a lender letter with information on it. If you're going to have cash, then you would have to have your proof of funds with your bank statement. If you're going to have a private lender, then, a private lender person who has, it could be a bank statement, it can be a retirement account to show they have proof of funds. And of course, you have your hard money lenders, which they will give you a lender letter, like a financial lender letter for the proof of funds. Now here's a sample of a hard money lender letter. Of course, a retail lender letter will be probably a little bit more detailed, but it will be something similar that you would need to add to your contract. Here is a copy of a check that's written out to the title company for the $1,000 deposit. This is something that's required on all the contracts that you write, to have ready a copy of the check ready to go and add it to your contract. Now, we here at the point of exit. What do I mean by exit? You have all your business stuff in place. you out marketing, your name, the company name, you got contracts going out. Now you have contracts under contracts ready to go to be able to complete the transaction. Where are you going with this? Are you going to be that investor who purchases property as a buy and hold? Or are you going to be that investor who fix and flip properties so you're going to be able to get out within a short period of time? Or are you going to be the type of investor who acquire property, you live in a property, and then you might have a section of the property rented out? Or are you going to be the other investor who works with other investors to be able to share deals and make a profit that way? Altogether, you have to have an actual exit strategy. So you have to go through acquisitions, you have to go through the sales of the property, you will have to go through either the rehabbing of property, or maybe you be doing property management for your rental properties. But one way or the other, you have to plan an exit strategy. Now that you at this point, all your business entities established, your marketing is established, you're out there networking with people, you actually writing contracts, you are ready to go. So you got to really think about what type of investor you're going to be, because it's going to be a critical role when it comes time for you to be exiting out of the contract. Okay, so questions. All questions are good questions. Never be scared to ask a question. You have to ask the questions to be able to take action and get responses that you need. What is your next move? Are you ready now to go to that next level of being an investor, actual active investor? Because that's where you're going to. You're going to be an active investor. So now we got to get ready for that. So you need to do the next thing. Complete your homework assignment. Make sure you have your articles done. Make sure you have your EIN completed. Open up your business bank account. Do your operating statement. All this could be done within a 1 week period of time, and you can email it to me. But I understand if you have to take a little more time and do some of these things online, which is fine. You can do that within a 7 to 10 day period of time and be able to email this information to me for completion of your homework before you go into the next session of this course. Okay, here again are some websites that you can go to establish your articles. You can go to DC Government Business Office, where you can register your business online. You can go to State of Maryland Business Office to register your business online. You can also, if you're out of state, you can Google, find out what actual agency or department you need to go to register your business online, or you can give them a call. You can go to irs.gov, get your EIN number, print out the document that shows your EIN number, because you would need that to open up your bank account, as well as all the other things you need to do for your business. Okay. So now you got all these things in place. All your homework is done. All your business stuff is done. And you're going to email me your homework. Now you're ready to take your quiz test to recap what you have learned in this course, this first part of the course. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready to move to the next level? That you completed everything? Are you ready to implement what you have learned so far? If your answer is yes, then congratulations. I'm ready for you to get started. We're going to take action. You're going to learn so much more in the next session. I just can't wait for you to get started, and we can move on to the next level. See you then.